Hello, good evening everyone. Happy Thursday to all of you. Let me know po if clear and type C. Let me just check the chat box. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your feedback. So welcome to First Metro Sec Invested Learning Session. And now we are on our 13th Nano webinar. By the way, I am Monat Pangatungan, Visayas Investor Education and Development Officer of First Metro Securities. So sa hindi pa nakakakilala kung ano yung First Metro Sec, allow me to introduce First Metro Securities. So it is the stock brokerage arm of the Metro Bank Group, and we are regulated by the Philippine Stock Exchange and as well as the Securities and Exchange Commission. And our company is dedicated to promote financial literacy and create awareness on investment opportunities that will empower individuals like you and me and even institutions to attain their financial goal. And we envision to be the largest and most trusted investment solutions partner here in the Philippines. So as I stated earlier, we are on our 13th session na po. Let me know kung pang ilang session na po yung na-attend ninyo. Is it the first one pa ba? Second? Or may perfect in attendance po ba tayo? Kasi alam ko may prize na hinahanda yung marketing team namin eh. Shout out sa marketing team. Baka mag-congratulate na ako in advance sa naka-13th na. So far, we have second for the month of April. How about for the previous months po? So from January to present, we are now on our 13th session. So it's all right if you are on the first session pa lang. We have actually have a series of webinar recordings that you can check on. Oh, we have 10. May 10. Grabe 10 out of 13. Hi, Miss Anne. Thank you for joining us on your 10th session. We have 9. Rami ha. So, where can we find the recordings? This is in our YouTube channel. Just search at First Metro Security. So, from the first session to the present, makikita niyo po yon. So, spread the knowledge. If something from today's webinar inspired you, so kindly take a screenshot and share it in your social media. Don't forget to use the hashtag FMSInvestEd to help spread financial literacy and inspire others on their investment journey. So before we officially start, I'll just show you a disclaimer first. Okay. And to give you an outline for our session this evening, we'll tackle about 5 topics. The first one is the basics of stock investing. Second is how to earn from stocks. Third is why do stock prices move. Fourth, the myths in stock investing, and then understanding the risk and volatility in stock investing. Okay, so here is the next slide. No, we all know that this time is considered a challenging time with the onset of the geopolitical tension. Although malayo tayo sa Middle East, pero ramdam na ramdam natin yung tension. As a matter of fact, it's reflected on the data. On the March 2026, yung inflation rate natin is at 4.1%. So before, we are just roughly mga 1-2%. But March, 4.1 na tayo. So ano ba yung impact ng inflation rate? So this is actually the rate is the increase in the prices of goods and services. So tingnan natin, no? Let's have this example, 1,000 pesos. Ito yung goods na nabili mo for 1,000 pesos in 2009. However, over time, after 15 years, 2025, di pa natin na-consider yun yung 2026 na inflation, that 1,000 pesos na goods is now costing us 1,688 pesos. So with 15 years na parang lapse of time, no? About 68% na yung increase ng goods and services natin. So imagine your 1 peso before, hindi na the same set of goods and services yung nabibili sa 1 peso. Kaya there is really an importance to grow your money. So, sorry. May I just confirm if nag-echo ako on your end? Type E. If all good naman, type G. Is there an echo? Okay, I think good on the other. In case you encountered echo, kindly rejoin the Zoom session. Okay, there. So going back, actually our previous na mga sessions were focused on personal finance, and then eventually nag-upgrade siya into investing, and that's why we are now into stock investing. So let me just share quickly, no, for those who were not able to join our previous na mga sessions. So before we shared ideas how to manage your finances, you start with paying yourself first by the time you receive your salary. And then what's left, you manage it for your expenses. You start paying off your bad debts. And if ever you really want to, let's say, avail utang, just make sure it is for good utang. It means that the proceeds of the utang will generate income. So after managing your cash flow, you ensure that you are protected both for your emergency fund and as well as life insurance. So I have here actually a question that was sent in advance. So what amount should I save first before I start investing into either stocks or any other investment solutions? So here for the protection, the ideal is 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly expenses. So at least by the time, if ever, no, worst scenario, you lose your job, at least you still have money that you can pay for your rent, for your essentials. And another question in advance na na-receive natin. As a beginner, I want to start safe and steady. So where should I invest? Before we have discussed money market and as well as treasury bills. So those are the investment solutions that you can check on, which is a safe and steady. But if you want higher naman na return, a longer na time horizon siya, but you are sure with capital preservation, which is into bond investing. And lastly, if you are into higher na rewards, wherein you can grow your investment, so that is another opportunity in stock investing. I have also received another question in advance. When should investors stay in pooled fund investing or transition ba to stock investing? So for me, it's actually good to diversify your investment. You still have pooled investment for money market fund, for your emergency fund. Also set aside money for bond with capital preservation and another portion of your investment for stocks. So diversify your investment. Don't pull your eggs in one basket. So for this evening session, I am focused on stock investing. So what is exactly stock investing? So this is actually an ownership of a publicly listed company. And before, may binibigay siya na stock certificate. But right now, you just need to have a stock brokerage account and then you buy stocks from that account of yours online. So scriptless na siya. And then you earn two ways, either capital gains or dividend. So you become a shareholder or a part owner of a publicly listed company. Sino ba dito sa attendees natin gustong may own business? Type B. Would you like to have your own business? Type B. Ayun, meron. So si Raymart, si Jalan, they want to have their own business. So for in business, you may want to have it franchise. So my own system na. You just need to know the system and then replicate it sa business nyo. Pero kailangan yung bayaran yung mga franchise fee. However, there is also an alternative wherein you make your own na brand, you make your own system. But dapat may knowledge kayo, may experience kayo. There is an opportunity for you to become a business owner without running the business on your own. And still, that is through stock investing. So why do companies invest or issue stocks? They raise capital through stocks, either pambayad nila ng utang, pang business expansion, market development. So that is the way for them to raise funds. So before, if private pa lang sila ng company, it is only Securities and Exchange Commission yung regulatory body nila at saka BSP kung bangko na private. And then also BIR. Once publicly listed na sila, there is additional regulatory body which is the PSE. So once publicly listed ng isang company, they are required to submit mga documents at every quarter or every month, no, para mga disclosure, at least updated yung mga investors or shareholders nila. So there are two types of market in not only here in the Philippines, but all over the world. The most common one, we have the primary market or the initial public offering. So straight through lang siya, parang first time lang in-offer yung stock sa public. So how do you participate in the initial public offering? There are actually two ways. The first one is through your broker. So for example, you have here First Metro Securities. Once you have an active First Metro Sec account, you can participate just by logging in to your First Metro Sec na platform, and then you just click this account tab and corporate action. So if there are available na mga IPOs, kung for example may inaabangan kayo na IPO for this year, just by having your own First Metro Sec account, pwede kayong makaparticipate sa initial public offering. The second way is to participate through the PSEEC. So this is for local small investor. This is actually web-based and as well as application-based. This is a separate account under PSE. So you may actually have both reservation sa broker nyo and at the same time sa PSEEC. Limited lang yung sa PSEEC. Depende siya. Either 100,000 or 1 million lang yung maximum. So the second market is what we call the secondary market. So a day after na initial public offering na yung stock, available na siya sa secondary market, wherein ang First Metro Securities nag-help sa mga clients natin to facilitate the buying and selling of the stocks. So those buyers set bid price or the buying price, and as well as the sellers set the selling price or the ask price. So ito, parang baka common na sa inyo, no, naririnig nyo bull market as well as bear market. So bull market, it is a scenario wherein optimistic yung mga investors. The stocks or the prices of the stocks are going up. While bear market, on the other hand, pessimistic yung sentiment ng mga investors, wherein the prices of the stocks are going down. Would you know bakit kaya bull ang representation ng ng bull market, na optimistic yung market? Is it because of how they actually, parang yung movement ng horn nila, 'di ba? Kung they fight against each other, yung movement ng bull is yung horn nila pataas. So that's why optimistic or pataas yung movement ng prices. Whereas yung bear, yung the way they fight others is parang yung paw nila pa ganun. So yung prices din ng stock is pababa. So yun lang, trivia lang siya. Next, we have the trading schedule. So yung notion ng mga investors na magpo-post lang ng buy or sell order during the 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. na schedule. Because the trading actually starts from 9:30 to 12 noon. Tapos recess, or you cannot send orders between 12 noon to 1 p.m. 12 noon to 12:59 p.m. Kasi market is on lunch break, recess. And then from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., nag-resume then yung afternoon na session. But you can actually send orders before the 9 a.m. and after the 3 p.m. So, bale, naka-queue lang yung order nyo sa brokerage firm. So, once the market opens at 9 a.m., so yung mga nasubmit nyo na order, pinapasa na yon sa PSE. So, sa 9:15, pwede submit ng orders, but you cannot edit or cancel the order from 9:15 to 9:30. And then 9:30 to 12 noon, matching na ng mga orders. Okay? And then, once it resumes from 1 p.m. to 2:45 p.m., the same, matching pa din ang mga orders. And then, 2:45 p.m. to 2:48, orders are accepted, pwede pa ma-edit. But then, from 2:48 to 2:50 p.m., orders are accepted, but then, hindi nyo na siya pwedeng ma-edit. No amendments na sa order nyo. 2:50 to 3 p.m., last price na lang yung ina-accept na order. Okay, next one. This, familiar ba to sa inyo? Saan nyo usually nakikita to? Diba? Sa mga news. This is what we call ticker tape. And then, color actually signifies something. Movement of the prices pa din. The green color signifies that the price of the stock is higher than the previous close. The red is that the price of the stock is lower than the previous closing price, whereas the yellow is unchanged. And then it has a 3 na rows. The first one is the stock symbol or the ticker code. This is the company na code. Second row is the stock price, and then the third row is the number of shares. So this means that there are actually 1,360 Metrobank shares bought and sold at 66 pesos, which is higher than the closing price. So let's check if clear ba to yung ticker tape on your end. Kasi makikita nyo to whenever it's trading. Kindly type your answer. The first one, at what price did Meg trade? At what price did Meg trade? Okay, so majority answered 2.07. So sa nag-answer ng 17.42, this is for a different stock. So here, Meg was sold and bought at 2.07, 33,000 shares. So the correct answer is 2.07. Next, how many shares of Ali was traded at 17.42? How many shares of Ali was traded at 17.42? Okay, I saw already correct answer. Dalawa lang yung nag-participate. But both answered correct. So Ali was traded at 17.42 for 100 shares. Next, what stock traded at 1.49? What stock traded at 1.49? Kindly type your answer. Sorry, hindi ko pala na-scroll down. Ayun. Marami na palang answer. Puro correct. Okay. Yun. So, what stock is traded at 1.49? It's SPNEC. So, congratulations. Thank you for participating. Next. There is also a notion na dapat malaki yung amount na invested sa stock. Pero actually, it's not. You just need to know about board lot. So, dun sa advanced question, where and how much is the minimum to buy stocks. So here, this will answer the question. It depends on the board lot. For example, we have Pure Gold. Pure Gold, closing price is 43 pesos. Titingnan nyo dito yung sa price range. So 43 pesos belong to 5 to 49.95, and that is 100 shares. So meaning, minimum of 100 shares or multiples of 100, pwede nyo mabili yung pure gold. So for as low as 4,300 pesos, pwede ka nang makabili ng pure gold instead of you establishing your own grocery na supermarket. It will cost you millions or billions of pesos to establish the store and also have the stocks itself. And we also have another questions that we received in advance. When would the one lot, one stock policy be implemented? So none for now. Depends on the PSE. We'll just be updating you in case the PSE will edit, no, na instead of board lot, allowed na yung lower number of shares. So let's continue with the second na example. SM closed at 634. So what is the minimum number of shares that you can buy SM? The number of shares that you need to buy for SM. Okay, correct. So we have 10 shares, or for as low as 6,340 pesos, invested ka na or part owner ka na ng SM once makabili ka ng SM stocks. And then last example, we have PLDT. Price is at 1,278, correct? May nag-answer na. Minimum number of board lot, it's 5, so roughly around 6,000 pesos. Pwede ka nang maging part owner of PLDT instead of establishing your own telecommunication company na mahal yung capital. So how we can earn from stock investing? May nagsabi pang dividend payout now ng TEL. So congratulations sa naka-receive na ng dividend ng PLDT. So we received this question, why do we invest in stock? Because there are two ways for you to earn in stock investing, either price appreciation and through dividend. So in price appreciation, you buy low, you sell high. Parang nagbebenta ka lang ng goods no na nabili mo, tapos benenta mo with additional markup or profit. And then we have here dividend. My question, is dividend tax-free? So no, dividends actually has 10% na withholding tax for individual. For corporation, walang withholding tax for the corporation, but for their income sa corporation, they do another tax on their end. So for the dividends, stockholders share the company's profit. So we have here another example. Wag na tayong lumayo, no? This is our parent company or the grandparent company, Metro Bank. So the Metro Bank is around 3.88 trillion pesos yung assets niya. So instead of us establishing our own bank, it's very difficult to raise such a big amount of capital to have your own asset. You can invest in Metro Bank for as low as 69.35 per share. If you could remember the board lot earlier, how many number of shares of Metro Bank can you buy? Minimum number of shares. Is it 100, 1,000, or 10, or 5? 100? 10? Okay, I saw the answer already. Okay, for those who answered 10, correct? So that is 693 pesos and 50 cents for the 10 shares that you will buy for Metro Bank share. So let's see, no? Around 2017, let's say you bought 100 shares of Metro Bank shares. Tapos you sold it around 2019. There is like realized gain at 16.89. However, if hindi mo naman siya binenta, that is just considered na unrealized gain, or like capital gain, no? Or makikita mo sa portfolio mo unrealized profit. So you did not sell it in 2019, pandemic came, so your stock price dropped by around 50.65%. hindi lang sa Metro Bank but even other stocks were also affected during pandemic na nag-drop yung price nila. For those who believe that the market will recover, they bought more shares at a lower price. Imagine, naka 50% off yung nakuha mo na stock. So you were able to buy double na the amount of money that you have invested. So true enough, it recovered after several 1-2 years, no? You said, let's say around this 2022, you sold it. About 80%, 80.49 na gain. So with stock investing, it's about how long can you stomach ba yung fluctuation ng portfolio mo. Are you okay with it? Kasi again, it can go as high as 80%, it can drop as low, it can drop to 50%. But over the years, kahit sinabi natin you just hold the stocks and you just continuously add 100 shares per year. So from 2019 to 2026, you have accumulated around 800 na mga shares. With 2026, 3 pesos and 50 cents yung dividend niya na release. So with your 800 shares, around 2,800 pesos yung dividend alone. And if you want to continue na holding the number of shares, then you can do so. You will also continue to receive the dividend. So as discussed earlier, dividend, it's a part of the income of the company. But dividends, it's not only limited to cash. We also have property dividend and stock dividends. So we have here another example, Globe, priced at 1,655 pesos. For the past 12 months or T12 or the trailing 12 months, dividend per share is 100 pesos. So in terms of dividend yield, it's 6.04. So it's just 100 pesos. The formula, it's 100 pesos for the dividend divided by the market price. So you get the dividend yield. Frequency of payment is 4. That means 100 divided by 4 every quarter, 25 pesos yung payout ng Globe for the dividend. And then, this type is cash dividend. And then there are also, let's say, 3 types of stocks that you can invest in. You have here common stocks. Example is Meralco. The stock price as of today is 646. The dividend released for the past 12 months, it's 28 pesos. So in terms of dividend yield, it's 4.33 and twice a year siyang nagbibigay ng dividend. So for common stock, variable po yung dividend na binibigay depende kung anong stock, but not all common stocks provide dividend. But in terms of the potential gain, it has biggest potential in terms of capital appreciation or long-term gains. Second is we have the preferred stock. Yung preferred stock naman, fixed yung dividend niya. So, it still has potential to appreciate in price, pero hindi siya as moving, hindi masyadong moving yung price niya compared to the common stock. And it has higher yield. It's not that moving compared to common stock because usually, yung mga investors na kumukuha ng mga preferred stock, they want the dividend. So, kung gusto mo ng dividend, you hold the stock instead of selling it. So, you have here one example, the Jollibee Food Corporation preferred stock. The current market price is 990 pesos. Yung issue price niya or the initial public offering price is 1,000 pesos. So, this was issued last October 14, 2021. Payout niya is during this month, 4 times a year. And in terms of trailing 12 months, ang yield niya or dividend yield is 4.28%. Yung binibigay niya na dividend sa mga stockholders is 42.41 pesos. And yung kaibahan talaga ng preferred stock aside from the fixed na dividend is that there are preferred stocks na may optional call date. So, parang ito yung right ng issuer to buy back the stock at 1,000 pesos na price or during the IPO na price. So, for example, you bought it after the IPO, you bought it at 990, you waited until October 14, tapos they execute their optional call. So, they bought your stocks at 1,000 pesos. So, may 10 pesos ka na capital gain aside from the May at saka August na dividend mo. But there is possible din naman that they don't execute the optional call date. They set another na optional call date. And then the third one is the real estate investment trust companies. So, ito siya, enacted na siya sa law about 20 years ago, pero 2020 lang may REIT na nag-IPO here in the Philippines. So, the REIT company, these are actually companies invested sa real estate, no? And their way to generate income is through rental. And that 90% of their distributable income binabalik nila sa investor. But yung difference lang din ng REIT among the other type of stocks is that stipulated siya sa law that 90% of the distributable income binabalik talaga nila sa mga investors. So, kung ano yung pinaparentahan nila, it's either office spaces, hotel and restaurants, commercial spaces, and even yung sa land for energy, yung land area for the solar panels. So here, example of REITs. We have Ayala REIT and Citicorp REIT. I'll just show with you the next slide. Ito yung 8 available na REITs sa Philippines from 2020 to present. As of April 10, 2026 na to kasi we release the REIT corner on a weekly basis. So as you can see, Ayala REIT, IPO price, tapos last traded price niya as of April 10 is 39.95. So yung capital appreciation niya since IPO is 47.96%. That is on top of the dividend na binibigay niya on a quarterly basis. But not all the time positive yung change from the IPO price. We also have this example, yung yung malaking negative or drop on the price. We have PhilReIT, 7 pesos yung IPO, but now it's trading at 2.94 pesos. So there is a drop, may drop siya na 58% sa price niya versus sa IPO. So it's very important to choose bigger na mga REITs. I mean, bigger is better when it comes to REITs. So, paano nyo malalaman that you are entitled ba sa dividend? You need to take note of the important dividend dates. We have the declaration date. Ito yung announcement kung kailan ang ex-dividend date, record date, at saka payment date ng dividend. Ex-dividend date, ito yung parang cut-off na date. So, if ever you bought stocks on the ex-dividend date, you are not entitled of the dividend. Whereas, if you are actually a stockholder of that stock a day before the ex-dividend date, you are entitled of the dividend. So, let's just focus on the ex-dividend date. If you are the buyer on the ex-dividend date, you are not entitled for the dividend. If you are the seller of the stock on the ex-dividend date, you are still entitled for the dividends. Record date, this is actually the day wherein the company check on the eligible na mga shareholders. And lastly is the payment date, kung kailan binabayaran ng company yung mga stockholder niya. Oh, we have here an example. How will we know if a company declares for dividends? You may check PSE Edge, or here you can see sa platform. For example, you log in sa First Metro sa account nyo, click research, and then click company, indicate the ticker code. Tapos puntahan nyo lang po yung dividend history. You can check yung mga dates if they are releasing na dividend. If ever wala siya dito, then you can go to PSE Edge to confirm lang din. But so far, updated naman itong dividend history natin sa First Metro Sec. It will only reflect the X date, record date, and payment date. So, let's just zoom lang. Ito, clear na. So, with the declaration date, in-inform dito kung ano yung mga record date, X date, at saka payment date. You can see here the 2026 na X date for Meralco, March 25. And then record date March 26, tsaka date payable on April 2026. So, para entitled ka sa dividend ng Meralco, kailangan mo ba na, will you be, if ever seller ka on March 25, are you entitled of the stock dividend? Kindly type Y for yes and for no. If you are the seller on the X dividend date. Okay, clear na siya. Correct. Yes, you are entitled of the dividend when you are the seller on the X dividend date. So here, additional info. When should you own the stock to be entitled of the dividends? So by the close of the trading day before the X dividend date. So just make sure you are a stockholder of that stock a day before the X dividend date. So to reiterate, we do have declaration on Feb 25. March 25 is the X date. So kung buyer ka on March 25, hindi ka entitled. If seller ka, you are entitled of the dividend. Then we have here record date, yung list of eligible shareholders, and then payment date when the dividends are being credited. Usually, magdadepende kung yung payment ng issuer is through fund transfer ba, or may check issuance. So, not exactly on April 20 siya magre-reflect sa First Metro Sec account nyo. So, please do allow 1 to 2 banking days for it to reflect to your account. But in case hindi nyo talaga siya nakita a day or two sa account niyo, you may contact customer service, or I'll be flashing my email as well on the later part of this session. So let's try another example. Ito sa second row. So let's say I bought on August 26. Will I be, August 26, 2025, will I be entitled of the 11.328 na dividend ng Meralco? I bought, kindly type Y or N. Yes, may sagot na pala kayo. Correct, no. How do we know the ex-dividend date in advance? You may check going back. Either you go to PSE Edge or you check the platform of First Metro Sec, log into your account, click research, and then indicate the company that you want to check on, and then click dividend history. Doon nyo po makikita. And then reasons why investors should consider dividend investing. First one, it can be considered a passive income. There is a regular cash flow, example for REITs na quarterly, or we do have other pa na mga dividend stocks that provides a semi-annual or annual na dividend without selling the stocks. So you can still appreciate the price appreciation or capital gain. And then reinvestment, whatever you receive sa dividend, pwede nyo siyang ma-reinvest or ma-invest ulit with the same stock or another than the stocks. Third one, stability. So dividend-paying stock companies ensure na may stable sila na income, para makapagbigay talaga sila sa mga stockholders. And it serves as inflation hedge. Dividend can grow over time, protecting your money. And at the same time, you can also reinvest it, that it will, parang better siya in a compounding way. Kasi yung dividend mo, pwede mo siyang ma-reinvest. sa the same stocks or other stocks. Or if you want to explore then another investment solution, pwede mo din siya maging buying power for the bond or with a pooled fund. So here, key metrics for the dividend investing. Sorry, my question pa pala. Dividend we receive is subject to final tax of 20%. Again, it's 10% for individuals. For corporation, wala siyang withholding tax, but they do have a separate tax for their own income. And then we have here the key metrics for dividend investing. The first one is the dividend yield. How you check the dividend yield? You just know the dividend for the past 12 months divided by the market price. Or you just check your First MetroSec platform and then go to research tab and company, indicate the ticker code. So it will actually reflect the dividend yield and as well as the past 12 months na dividend payout ng company. And then second is the payout ratio. This is referring to the percentage of the income of the company, kung 35% ba or 50% ba of their income are given back to the investors. Kasi pag sabihin natin 100% of their income, mag-question mo talaga, this is not sustainable kasi 100% yung ibibigay nila. But let's say 85 lang or 80%, or let's just say na 50% will serve as a payout ratio kasi yung another 50%, they will invest it to their own company then para mag-grow. And then third one is dividend growth. You track if the dividend given by the company is increasing or decreasing. Kasi pag sabi mo decreasing, kung decreasing, possible that they are tightening na din their payout ratio. No? Nagko-control na sila. And then fourth one is just make sure na tama yung date na nabili nyo yung stock para sure kayo na recipient kayo ng dividend. And as well as the frequency, especially kung retirees na yung nag-invest, so mas gusto nila na mas frequent yung pag-receive ng dividend on a quarterly basis. And then yung nabili nyo na stock, semi-annual lang or annual. So yun, may contradict siya on the frequency and yung usage nyo ng pera. So that's with dividend investing. Moving on to the next one. Who sets the board lot? The board lot po, sa PSE siya. And then nagbe-base siya sa price range. And then here, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. So these are referring to the top 30 companies. Diba? Makikita nyo po, these are known na mga companies like Ayala Corp, Ayala Land, ASEN, BDO, BPI, Metrobank, Meralco, URC. So these are considered na mga blue chip companies. Sorry, I do have one question para here. In extreme cases where the company will declare bankruptcy, what will happen to our stocks? In terms of hierarchy, yung stocks kasi, you are considered one of the owner of the companies. So yung una talagang babayaran nila is yung kung saan may utang sila. No? Yung sa banks. So what's left sa assets nila, doon na ibibigay last sa stockholders or sa mga owners. Tapos may hierarchy pa din po in terms of the stockholders. Mas priority yung preferred stocks compared to common stocks. So creditors, tapos preferred stocks, and then common stocks. Kung ano yung maiiwan pagkatapos mabayaran lahat ng utang, lahat ng preferred stocks, yun po yung mabibigay sa mga common shareholders. So that is one of the risks that you are taking as one of the part owner of the company. So similar lang din siya if you own your own business. Diba? Kailangan mo ding bayaran yung mga napag-utangan mo. Tapos kung may natira sa'yo, that's for you na. So I hope that is clear. Next, again, Going back to the blue chip companies or the blue chip stocks, these are referring to the large and reputable na mga companies. So, out of the almost 300 na mga stocks or publicly listed companies dito sa Philippines, 30 ang considered, they have Lions market share, good brand recall, and historically, maganda yung performance ng company nila. No? At saka na-overcome nila kahit ano yung mga downturns or mga crisis. And even with the slowdown in the economy, good pa din yung demand ng products and services nila. Okay. And then, next one. How do you pick a stock? Or how will I know which stock should I invest? So we suggest a top-down approach. Top-down approach, actually, you need to know first the current status of the economy, and then you go down to certain industries that are being affected of the situation of the economy. And lastly, you dig down sa company. Here we have question to the blue chips make up 100% of the PSE index. Yes po. Blue chips are equivalent to PSEI. Okay, so here we start with economic analysis. The target of the Philippines is actually Philippine government rather is 6% na 6% na GDP. But with our forecast no sa DBS, this is our partner na research firm sa Singapore. It's forecasted at 5%. So parang your notion na 6% ang target pero 5% yung forecasted, there has been a slowdown sa economy kasi hindi natin mahihit yung target ng Philippine government. So GDP, as we know, it's the gross domestic product. It's a combination of all of the products and services na produced ng Philippines. And then in terms of interest rate ng BSP right now is at 4.25%. Based din sa aming DBS na forecast, it's still at 4.25% end of the year. So ano ba yung impact ng BSP policy rate sa stock? So it actually affect the cost of borrowing of the company. So let's say if nag-increase yung BSP policy rate, mas costly sa mga publicly listed companies, not only publicly listed companies, but all other na mga businesses na mag-borrow ng pera, restricting their growth of the business. So in terms din naman sa deposit sa bank, the BSP policy rate, it's also the basis. So let's say magtataas ng interest rate, so sabihin natin naging 5% siya. Instead of you investing, let's say, sa stocks, tapos there is a possibility na makakuha ka pa ng return na below 5%, may other option ka naman na fix at 5% yung interest na makukuha mo. Tapos, hindi ka pa mag-iisip kung anong stock na bibilhin mo. So, yung tendency is that you will opt for a safer na investment solution. So, you go to the bank, investing on a fixed na interest income. So, that's how it works. Kung mas tataas ang BSP policy rate, there is a tendency na yung mga investors, ayaw na nila dun mag-invest sa stock market. They opt to invest to bonds kasi yung bond, ang interest din sa bond basis then one of the basis is the BSP policy rate. Next, inflation. Here, the inflation rate, earlier I've shared na March, 4.1%. Yung forecasted naman ng DPS is 2.4%. So, within the range naman siya ng 2 to 4% ng BSP. So, yung implication ng inflation, of course, tataas again yung prices of goods and services. Pag tataas yung prices of goods and services, instead of you buying that good, parang sasabihin mo na lang, ay, hindi na lang muna ako, itatabi ko muna yung pera ko, no? Kasi mahal na pala yung mga bilihin ngayon. Especially, hindi siya essential or hindi need yung specific na goods na bibilin mo. So, yun, may impact siya sa revenue of a certain na mga companies, especially if discretionary siya, hindi siya essential yung products and services niya. Next is the employment rate. So, this is actually published, I think, on a monthly basis. At least may know-how tayo kung ilan na ba yung porsyento ng mga Pilipino ang employed at saka hindi. Kasi if maraming employed, edi mas maraming Pilipino may kakayahan na bumili kasi may income na sila. Kung mas marami ang unemployed, mas maraming Pilipino ang nagsistruggle with their finances. So, in effect, may impact din sila sa mga businesses kasi kung maraming mga Pilipino may pera, mas may buying power sila, mas mataas yung disposable income nila, mas may kaya silang bilhin. So, it will also ripple naman sa business. No? It may increase the revenue as well of the companies. Next one is the investment grade and outlook. So, latest na credit rating na ni-release ng S&P Global, they have actually revised the Philippine outlook from positive to stable. This is because of the external na mga effect. I mean, the impact of the geopolitical na tension na Middle East. And lastly, in terms of the investment grade as well, if we will have a good investment grade, investable tayo or attractive tayo sa mga foreign investors. Kasi this is like the credibility of the Philippine government that they are capable of paying the utang. And also investment grade or na mga credit rating, it is also given sa mga company as well. And last one, Black Swan event, the last one. So this Black Swan event, this describes the event that comes as a surprise. So it has a surprise but has a major effect sa economy natin. One example, yung 2020 pandemic. Diba? Walang nag-expect, pero lahat affected. So after knowing economic analysis, no, nalaman natin, let's say, the economy is on a slowdown ba, or the economy is improving ba, we go specifically sa mga industries. Kasi depende siya kung anong status ng economy natin. If there is a slowdown in the economy, it's good na mag-invest tayo sa mga defensive na mga industries. Bakit defensive industries? Kasi kahit with the slowdown of the economy, alam natin continuous pa rin yung pagbili ng mga goods and services under defensive industries. Ano ba yung under the defensive industries? We have the utilities. Hindi naman tayo nagsa-stop ng paying our water and electricity, our internet. So healthcare and as well as consumer staples. Kasi kumakain pa din naman tayo kahit na nagsa-slow down yung economy or kung may crisis. So this actually answers the question that we received in the advance, that what are the resilient stocks for the years to come. So kahit 5 years or 10 years pa siya, it doesn't matter. Defensive stocks talaga. And then we have here the cyclical industries. So actually this answers the question, advance na received, which stock is best to invest, especially if the economy is recovering. The answer would be the cyclical industry. The cyclical na industries. Kasi if the economy is recovering, so may higher na buying power ang mga Pilipino. So they can now opt to buy mga discretionary consumer. So yung mga wants na nila. And then in terms of the financials, pwede na din, hindi na din restrictive yung pagpapautang ng bangko. And in terms of investing in real estate, parang hindi na mag-hold na mag-invest ng malaking pera ang mga investors. Kasi kung mag-slow down ang economy, mas gusto mo mag-hold ng pera, ayaw mong gumastos na malalaki. Kasi what if may another situation na mag-occur? So here, cyclical industry, you go for consumer, discretionary, financials, and as well as real estate. Okay, so moving on. After the industry analysis, alam na natin kung better ba to overweight or mag-invest sa cyclical industry or defensive industry. So malalaman mo na may mga list of stocks ka na under sa defensive industries and cyclical industries. Tapos, i-check mo na yung each company. So each company, you should know first, in terms of the company analysis, know the company's business model. So dapat alam mo yung business operation, paano ba siya nakaka-generate ng revenue. Kasi kung hindi mo alam yung business model ng isang company, parang nag-invest ka, pero parang nag-invest ka ng something that you don't know. So, dapat talaga alam mo kung ano yung revenue generating ng isang company. Second, get to know the management. Mag-check ka sa internet if credible ba yung management or may mga let's say bad news ba sa pag-handle ng business ng management ng isang company. So it also affects. The third one is the company valuation. So we have received a question, paano ba makuha yung book value ng isang company? So you just check financial statement and then check total asset minus total liability. So that is the book value. You tend to also, aside from financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, yun yung mga tinitingnan natin. And then afterwards, you also check the trend, the profitability trend, if increasing ba yung profit ng isang company or is it declining. And fifth one is ang growth prospect ng isang company. Is it still growing with the current condition or is it declining? But don't worry, don't be overwhelmed with the economy, industry, and as well as company analysis. We got you. Our research actually provided an array of reports available on our First Metro Sec na platform. You just click the research tab and then click First Metro Sec. Whether you are a long-term investor or you considered actively trading, we have different reports available. So this is the Trader's Playbook. Suitable siya for the active investor. Yung parang coverage na is, or the duration is mga 3 months. We set the price when you buy it and the price when you sell it. And if you are a long-term investor, like at least 1 or 2 years mo i-hold yung stock, you can check on our company reports as well. If you are to dividend investing, please check our dividend dashboard and as well as our stock screen report. So if you want to get updated of anything about economy, we also cover this. Our research firm provide daily and as well as weekly na mga reports. So not all are covered by our research firm in terms of research team in terms of all the PSE na mga stocks, no? So, in case may hinahanap kayo na certain stock pero walang report na available, you can check on our consensus corner. Pero if ever ayaw nyo po naman ng individual ng stock picking, you may actually invest on First Metro Exchange Traded Fund or FMETF. So, di ba kanina, I have introduced PSEI or the blue chip companies. Instead of you investing individually sa 30 companies that will cost you mga, let's say, 100,000 pesos, there is an alternative for that, which is the FMETF. The price, as of April 15, it's 100 pesos and 50 cents. If you could remember the board lot, this is only for 10 shares. So for as low as 1,005 pesos, pwede na po kayong maka-invest sa FMETF. compared to investing sa individual na PSEI. Okay. And then, next one. So, let's say, mag-start na kayo mag-invest. This is where you set your order. You click trade at saka click new order, indicate the ticker code. So, for example, FMETF kasi ayaw natin mag-pick ng individual na stock. So, you have FMETF, you have direct exposure na sa top 30 companies. So, in terms of the ask and bid, so again, bid price is the buying price, ask price is the selling price. Let's say you want to buy FMETF at 101 pesos. Do you think you can buy FMETF at 101 pesos talaga? Kindly type yes or no. Let's say you set order 101 pesos, 100 shares of FMETF. So, okay, may nag-answer ng yes. Sige, I'll explain later. So, in this case, sa example natin ng available bid and ask na volume, you can buy FMETF not at 101 pesos, but rather at 105.50 pesos. Because this is the best na selling price. Kasi ima-match ng PSE yung best price for you. So, I am a buyer. I am willing to buy 100 shares of FMETF at 100 pesos. Pero pag check ng PSE, may seller na willing to sell it only at 100 pesos and at 100 pesos and 50 cents. So I'm not gonna give it to you at 101 pesos, but rather I will match it for 100 pesos and 50 cents only. So yung filled or match order mo is 100.5 for 100 shares. Let me know if it's clear. Type C. I'll have another set of example. Okay. Sige, I'll have another example. So, is FMETF same as UITF? FMETF works like a pooled fund but invested in stock market. So, there is a fund manager na nagkokopya ng stocks na nandun sa PSEI. Yun yung ini-invest niya sa FMETF. And you as an investor, you can invest sa FMETF by buying shares of FMETF. So parang hybrid po ang FMETF sa pooled fund investing and sa stock. Okay, so we have buy order, another example ha. Let's say I want to buy 100 shares of FMETF at 100 pesos. Mama-match ba siya or hindi? If match, kindly type Y. If hindi, kindly type N. Okay, I saw an answer already. So I want to buy 100 shares of FMETF at 100 pesos. Will that be match? Kindly type yes or no. Y or N? Where is he? Ay, sorry, may answer na pala. Marami na pala. Majority answered N. It's a no because if you are on the buyer's side, I mean, if you are on the buyer's side, you check the ask price. You check the best ask price. So, ako, willing akong bumili ng FMETF 100 shares. Pero yung seller na willing mag-sell is 100 pesos and 50 cents niyang isi-sell. Kaya, hindi siya magmamatch. Okay? So, yung sa nag-answer ng yes, it's wrong. Again, if I want, as a buyer, you need to check the ask price na side. So this will only be matched if, as a buyer, I want to buy at 100 pesos and 50 cents para magmamatch siya sa best ask or seller's price or selling price. So let's try another example. Last two na example. I will be selling FMETF 500 shares for 100 pesos. Will that be matched? Yes or no? I am selling 100 shares of FMETF, 500 shares at 100 pesos. Ayun. Nag-answer correctly lahat. So it's yes, if you are the seller, you go or watch the bid side or the buyer's price. So they are willing to buy at 100 pesos for 500 shares. So magma-match yung order natin. Last na question. I am willing to sell let's say 1,000 FMETF for 99.8 pesos, 99.8 pesos. Magma-match ba siya lahat or hindi? If ma-match lahat, kindly type yes. If hindi, kindly type no. Okay. Correct. And ganito yung mangyayari. 'Di ba sabi ko 1,000 yung isa-sell ko na FMETF at 99.8 pesos. Sorry, 1,000 shares of FMETF at 99.8 pesos. So yung first na ima-match niya is dito. 99 ito pala, sorry. 100 pesos na FMETF for 500 shares. So may kulang pa ako na 500 shares na bibilhin at 99.8. So yung second, 99.8 na yung presyo. Yung first na na-sell ko at 100 pesos. Kasi ito yung best buyer's price na available. Although willing ako mag-sell at 99.8 pero may better na price. So 500 shares at 100 pesos yung unang na-sell ko. Tapos since willing ako 99.8, so bababa ako. 99.8, I sold it for 10 shares na lang. Tapos yung pangatlong level, which is the 99.7, hindi na ako willing mag-sell. So 510 shares lang yung na-filled ko na order. So uunahin mong titingnan is best na bid or ask price when in terms of buying and selling of stocks. Let me know if it's clear. Kindly type Y. And if unclear naman, I'll type Y. Okay, great. There. So we're done with that. Next is dapat malaman mo kung ano naman, there is a column for the number of bid and number of ask. Does this mean there are no sellers or buyers or no trade? The number of bid and ask, it is referring to the number of sellers and buyers. Okay. So how is ETF price? Again, it's based on the demand and supply of the investor. Yung pinopost nyo sa bid and ask. So after knowing how the stocks are matched, the next thing that we need to know is in terms of the cost. There is always a cost involved whenever you buy and sell stocks. So in terms of buying stocks, total is 0.2956%. And in terms of selling stocks, the cost is 0.3956%. Kasi sa selling, we have a sales tax na additional na 0.1%. So the total charge, whenever you buy and sell stocks, it's 912%. So kung yung kahit 1% lang na capital gain, around 0.38% may ano ka na, capital gain. So 1% na price appreciation ng stock nyo, may 0.38 ka na capital gain for that certain transaction. So dapat malaman nyo magkano yung cost para alam nyo yung hurdle ng cost nyo na mas mataas dapat yung price appreciation for that stock. And then next one, this is a peso cost averaging strategy. We have this question, how does long-term investing work in stock markets, especially your BC at work? You can actually go for peso cost averaging strategy. You just have a fixed amount to be invested every month. And actually, this is possible once up na po ang voluntary investment program namin. This is available for FM ETF and our pooled funds for as low as 1,500 pesos, either once or twice a month. Tapos once enrolled ka na, automatic na siya mag-i-invest every month. And then you just make sure that funded yung account nyo during the debiting date. So you schedule bills payment sa First Metro Sec account nyo. So here we have a comparison for those who invested early. Let's say today, you started 30 years na time horizon, 1,500 per month, minimum ng FM ETF na voluntary investment. Total investment you have paid is actually 540,000. The return based on 8% na average growth rate, it's at 2.1% versus if you are Mark who invested 10 years later, 20 years yung investment horizon niya. But he doubled his investment amount. So total invested amount is 720,000, but the return is 1.7 million. So yung difference niya mainly is the time horizon. So it's really better to invest early kasi mas ma-maximize nyo pa yung investment opportunity nyo. And if you're thinking ba na, is it better to invest right now with the geopolitical tension? So giving you this history of the PSEI over the years from 1987 to the present, we have encountered, baka dito hindi pa na-experience, just like me, wala pa during Asian financial crisis. Dito na pala. Asian financial crisis around 1997, 1998, global financial crisis around 2000. Tapos we had COVID, tapos you have Russia-Ukraine tension, our recent na flood control issue, and then right now the US-Iran tension. You can see that during this na mga event, there is really a drop in the market, but it recovers over time. So right now, we are experiencing another tension. So we know that there is actually a fluctuation talaga or volatility in the market. But once there is the escalation na of the current situation, the market will recover. And that is based on the past experience. You can see on the graph. So investing, you're not only investing for yourself, but also you're investing for your future and as well as for nation building. That's why it's very important to invest now. And as individuals, we can only do so much. We also need to rest. We need to relax. And despite having relaxation and the time to relax, we still get sick. Why not we take advantage of money that does the heavy lifting, because money does not need to sleep, money does not need to take a vacation, and most importantly, money does not get sick. So as much as I want to cover the other na topic, we have do limited time. I will have that on our next na lang po na session, because we have two naman na sessions sa Stock Market 101, no? We are talking about risk. So before you start investing, you need to consider, of course, the risk that you will encounter. But just in case you are now considering open a First Metro Sec account, you just need to download the app or just visit our website, that is www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. Prepare the requirements, government issued ID, proof of residence, proof of bank account, 1,000 initial funding, and 3 specimen signature. Everything is done online. You just need to upload that, the requirements, either it's a website or sa app. And please don't forget, indicate the seminar code April 16, indicating that you have joined the session for this evening. We have actually talk basic of stock investing, earn capital gains and dividend, and the reason on the movement of stocks. Next week will also include understanding the risk in investing and as well as the myth in stock investing. And on top of the other points of discussion, how to be ready. How will you know that you are ready in stock investing? Please scan this QR code to our attendees. We also value your feedback. You can share your thoughts and experiences with us just by scanning the QR code and answer our feedback form. So link will be provided by our chat moderator to help us improve our services and better meet your needs. And this is actually more than just a feedback form. Your input is essential to us. So we appreciate your contribution and we look forward to seeing this or implementing these positive changes from your valuable feedback. And flashing as well our customer service number and the regulatory numbers if you need to contact them. And I'd like to invite you, please join again the second part of the stock investing for beginners. That is on April 23. We also have April 22 for those who have existing First Metro SECDA account na po. How to trade your first investment. And you can join our exclusive na mga sessions once you have your First Metro SEC account. That is Basic Education on Stock Trading, Part 1 and Part 2. So this is more specific na PE ratio, more on the valuation, earnings impact, and as well as dividends and knowing the undervalued stocks. And you can also invite us for free personal finance and market education programs for your schools and organization. Now on the Q&A, let me just check the live Q&A. I think have already answered this, the Ford lot. Oh, here's just clarification. For the optional call date, will they buy back our stock? If they will execute their right to the optional date, yes, they will buy back your stock at IPO price. Here, do we still need to wait for the record date to be entitled for the dividends, or we can already sell it a day after ex-dividend date? Actually, even during ex-dividend date, you can already sell the stocks because the basis is that you are a stockholder a day before ex-dividend date. And can we check in the First Metro SEC platform the credited dividend amount of our stocks? Yes, just go to the website. It's not available in the First Metro SEC Go na application. Click trade, tapos view history and ledger. So you will see there up to 45 days. So if it's beyond 45 days, just check your statement that is available on the account tab on the upper right and statement on the lower left, and then click statement of account. Up to 1 year yung available na coverage. This is So is there a way in First Metro SEC where we can see companies that are about to declare dividends so we can prepare for the X date? So again, just click First Metro SEC, click company and indicate the ticker code and click dividend history. We have here another question. So good day, when a stock share price is lower than the IPO price, does that mean they lost money on their IPO listing? No, sir, because during the IPO listing, they were already paid by the investors who bought during the IPO. So for those who bought during IPO and then they hold the stock until the let's say a tender offer was given, which is lower than their IPO price. So it is the stockholder that losing end. No? So that is another risk that will be a burden for an investor, which we will also discuss next week. I'll just take a last two na lang na question. I am so sorry for those I have not answered. I'll be flashing my email address and as well as a QR code if you want another one-on-one session here. Why REITs and financial stocks are sensitive to rate interest increases. So here, for example, let's say the BSP policy rate from 4.25, let's just say theoretically, it increased to 5%. So ikaw as an investor, instead of investing sa stock that possible may give you lower than 5%, gusto mo na fix yung makukuha mo. So there is now an option for the investor to go to the another investment solutions, which is like, let's say, time deposit, fixed income, bonds, instead of investing sa REITs or investing sa that is for the REITs, no? So mas attractive ngayon yung fixed income or time deposit instead of investing sa REITs. For the financials naman, one of the revenue activities of the bank is to lend money to the people or mga companies. So if you increase the cost of borrowing of the company, it is not attractive for the person or for the businesses to borrow money. So it means na instead of having higher revenue from the interest income they got from lending, because of the higher na interest, lesser na yung nag-a-avail ng loans. So may impact siya sa revenue ng financial stocks. So I hope that is clear. 57. Last one. Is gain on sale of stock subject to capital gain tax of 6%? As I have shared on the previous screen, it's only 0.1%. So that's the advantage of being listed sa PSE. Instead of the 6% na capital gain, 0.1% na lang po. Yun siya. So, I will just flash here my QR code or email address. If you have follow-up questions, I'll just take note of your questions. I'll be sharing answers na lang then for next week for this. But if you want prompt answer na then, I think I can go back with you by tomorrow if you send. You can email me, that's mpangatungan@firstmetrosec.com.ph. Or if you want a one-on-one session, know more about the stock investing or other investment product of First Metrosec, you can book a session. Just scan the QR code. And flashing again our feedback survey. So to our attendees, please provide feedback for this evening session. It can help us improve on our next sessions. We appreciate for joining us until around 7:30 p.m. already. So there you have it, guys. On behalf of First Metro Securities, we thank you so much, and I'd like to appreciate our deepest gratitude to everyone who attended tonight, and it's truly an evening well spent. We sincerely hope that you have learned a lot, or you will learn more on the next session. We still have part 2. And that these insights and lessons will make your investment journey not just more enjoyable, but also more profitable. I am really sorry for not attending all of the questions, but I'll get back to you. I'll take note of your questions. Hope to see you on our next session. We'll see you at the next stop of our journey because over here at First Metro Securities, we put your future first. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.